Hello and welcome to Mirror Talk Podcast. Your moment of greatness starts now.
Today, I am blessed to have Nkechi on the podcast. I am not sure I have told you this before, but you really inspired me while striving to achieve great things academically in high school. I might share the story later in the episode, but let's first hear from this beautiful and wonderful Nkechi. How are you doing?
Hi, Toby. I'm doing great. Thank you for all your sweet mouth compliments. I'm fine, and it's great to see you.
It's great to have you here once again. I'm really glad that you accepted to do this. And as I said earlier, you inspired me in high school, and I'm so glad to learn a lot from you in this session. I've known you for quite a while now, right from the time I was in my first class in high school in OBMS in Oyo State, Nigeria. And apart from you being a very kind and very friendly person, sometimes, I always feel like, it's someone of this high caliber. We talked to someone like me. I was like, wow. But,
really?
But something that attracted me to you were your academic excellence, your academic achievements, and the way you presented yourself or present yourself still with so much confidence. And that's why I'm curious to know this. I'm curious to know if you could tell me about your upbringing, whether it's some things that you had to do while growing up, or some trainings you had to undergo while growing up, or some kind of secret food that you had to eat to make you so intelligent. And so, how will I say it? So confident and, great.
Well, my upbringing was pretty normal. I wouldn't say there was anything special about it or anything that was particularly geared towards academics. As you know, my dad, he was a teacher, and he used to teach at the same secondary school we attended. So, not that he used to particularly give us any sort of special mentorship at home, but I guess just knowing that he was present in the same school, you have this kind of motivation such that you don't want to do anything that will possibly make him unhappy or make him feel like, his name is being besmirched in any way. So just, I guess, wanting to keep up the good work and make my parents happy.
That's great. So, for example, if your parents were not there, I'm sure you still have been good academically or achieved great things. So were there like things from home that they taught you? Or
I suppose I was naturally studious. I'd read when it's time for exams. They were all just like normal things to me. Like I couldn't fathom doing it differently. It's just like you do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. So that's how it was.
Oh, great. And do you have some kind of like schedule or to-do list that you have to like check throughout the day, or journal to writing?
No, There wasn't anything like that. So it was just self-directed most of the time.
So what kind of advice would you give someone like me if I'm trying to achieve or attain more academic excellence? What are the things that I'm meant to do? What can I change in my life, my scheduling, in my way of doing things to ensure that I achieve more academic excellence?
I think it's important for you to outline your goals, your personal goals and your academic goals, for you to understand your motivation, to know why exactly you want this particular thing for yourself. And once you've gotten that, then you should stay focused, try and be dedicated as much as possible. Be studious, and in everything you do, just give it your best, and don't allow the pressure of your own expectations to be too overwhelming for you. So that's really what I would tell you.
Now you're a medical doctor, and that it shows already that you've done a lot of things to go through the training to become a medical doctor and finishing from one of the best universities in Nigeria and in Africa, probably. Can you tell me about this journey, the journey of becoming a medical doctor? What were the highlights? What were the challenges, of course, that you had to face? And at what point of that journey are you at right now?
My time in medical school was very long for usual Nigerian reasons. And I think what I would call the highlights of my time there would really be the people I met and the friends I made in medical school. The way medical school works in Ibadan is that you're in the University of Ibadan itself for a couple of years, and then later on transferred to the University College Hospital. So during my time in UI, I met a couple of lifelong friends, I'll call them, because we're still friends up until today, and they've impacted my life in so many different ways. So I think that's really the important thing I took away from school: the relationships, the friendships. And then as for challenges, I'd say the most challenging thing really was just the pressure of medical school. There's a lot of exams that really could make or mar you, depending on whether you pass or fail them. So at different points in school, there are these high pressure, high tension moments where you have to really focus everything you have on those exams. And sometimes, there are things that are not really within your control. So you just have to really just be prayerful and just hand yourself over to God and just hope for the best. So I think the high tension and the pressure in med school is one of the challenges. And the fact that it tasks you when it comes to like your communication with people. I was a very shy person, or I am still a shy person, but you have to communicate more in medical school. You have to communicate with the patients, you have to communicate with your superiors. So in a way, it was sort of a growing experience for me.
And at what point of that journey are you at right now? Are there still things you want to achieve, or you've gotten to a station or a point where you say, yes, I'm good?
Oh no, there's definitely still a long way to go. The medical profession, graduating medical school is just a small step. So from there, you now have to find out what path you want to take. So for me, I think I'm more clinically minded, in that I think I want to just practice and specialize in a particular point of interest. So for me, the journey is just beginning, and we'll see how it goes.
And the sky is your starting point. I'm very sure of that. From what you said, from what you've been narrating now, I know it could be quite challenging sometimes to meet up with a lot of deadlines, to read a lot of books as a medical doctor, assignments to submit, maybe some practice or something, or some practical work you have to do. And this could be a little bit challenging and difficult sometimes. How do you manage all of this, and how do you ensure that you stay mentally and physically healthy in the process of this challenging time?
Okay, I think it's important to plan ahead. So planning is really the first part of getting anything done. So if you know that you have a lot of deadlines to meet, or a lot of things that are due for a particular time, it's important for you to understand the amount of work involved and the amount of time you have, so that you're not now like caught in at the 11th hour, finding out that you haven't done a lot of things you're supposed to do. So for me, I think planning is important. So you should always be aware of how much time you have left and what's there to be read or to be done, so that you can manage your time appropriately. Mm-hmm. And then to stay sort of mentally fit, I think it's important to rest a lot. Even if there's a lot to do, there's high pressure everywhere, you have to always just take time to just do something you enjoy, something that you find relaxing. So every once in a while, watch that movie, take that nap, hang out with friends, don't allow the pressure to get to you, basically. So
you mean once in a while it's okay for me to scroll through my Instagram without having a guilty conscience?
Yes, definitely. But don't spend hours on it.
Okay. Yeah, that's another topic actually, to know the right amount of time to scroll through my Instagram before it becomes something bad. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you could reflect back on your journey thus far, are there some ways or some things that you've done to work on your personal development? Like looking at yourself today and looking at yourself 10, 15 years ago, your progress so far personally, your personal development, are there things that have changed, or things that you consciously did to, or you are consciously doing to improve your personal development?
A lot has definitely changed from, say, 5-10 years back to now. I think the major part of it is just natural progression. As you're growing up, some attitudes, some behaviors tend to fall behind, and some of it is intentional. So I find that as I'm getting older, my confidence has increased quite a bit. Then I find that I'm also less bothered about what people think or how things are going. So I find that I can shrug some things off with relative ease. So I don't let things get to me as much as it would have in the past. So I think that's really important, to have a healthy mindset, a positive outlook So I try to see the best in people. I try to be positive in my thoughts and in my words. And I try to just be nice, be kind, you know. So I think that a lot has really changed from the past to now.
Are there like ways you are being kinder to yourself right now or nicer to yourself?
Well, yes, definitely. You know, there are definitely things everybody will do at some point in life that you feel, oh, you've disappointed yourself or you've disappointed some other people. So instead of now ruminating on that and beating yourself up over it for days, for months, just forgive yourself. Learn to let things go. Learn to just sort of move on and give yourself room. You know, nobody's perfect, and certainly I'm not perfect. So I think it's just important that one learns how to just give yourself space to fail, space to disappoint, and pick yourself back up and recover. So that's what I mean by being nicer or being kinder to myself. Also nicer in a way that, once in a while treat yourself. Not every time be frugal or be austere in your spending and all. So every once in a while, you deserve something nice.
Yes.
So I think it's really been helpful to me thus far.
So once in a while, spend that medical doctor money, like, hey. Yeah.
If you say so, the money is small, I beg. But once in a while,
Yes.
you should make an effort for yourself.
Yeah, that's very good. That's very good. I'm learning from that also myself. So yeah, to be nice sometimes to myself, to be kind to myself. Yeah, it's a journey. It's a journey.
Yes, it should be.
Are there ways that your personal development, reflects on your relationship with your family, with your friends, with people around you, in your personal relationship, in different in different ways, maybe at your place of work also? Are there ways that this personal development, reflects on these areas of your life?
Oh, definitely in very significant ways. Because once you learn to just let things go, it helps you avoid fights, avoid keeping grudges, which are things that poison relationships over time and even in the short term. So I think once I just figured out that fine, this person has done something bad, doesn't mean you have to dwell on it, doesn't mean you have to let it define your relationship going forward. So I just physically learned how to forgive and learned how to see the best in people. So no matter what this person has done or said, the onus is now on you to determine how you choose to interpret. So I think definitely once you can understand that, it really will help you in relationships, and it has helped me both in my family, in my friends, and any other relationship, workplace relationships. So it's important in keeping the peace and just being on good terms with everybody.
Being at peace with yourself, being at peace with everyone that is around you. So back then in high school, we had this one principal or proprietress, I don't know, principal, I guess, whose motto every morning was always excellence, true integrity. I can never forget that.
Yes, we just shouted mindlessly because she just shouts excellence and then you have to reply through integrity.
True integrity, yeah. And it keeps ringing in my brain from time to time. So I would love to ask you, is this also one principle that you work with, and why is it important to work with excellence through integrity?
Well, back then when we used to recite that motto, I really never stopped to think about it and what it meant. It was just a strange catchphrase that we used to just echo back and forth. Okay. But thinking about it now, I definitely understand it more. And I think it's a very valid point. You can excel through different methods, really. But integrity adds a new dimension to your excellence. So when you're excelling by staying true to yourself, staying true to your principles and your values, it makes that excellence all the better, really. So I think it's definitely important to have integrity in all you do. Because if you sort of succeed through shady means, then it casts a shadow, a kind of stain on your achievements. But if you have integrity, if you're sure in all that you do, that you're upholding what is right, you're standing for what is true, then definitely you can beat your chest with whatever you've accomplished or whatever you've done and say that, yes, I've done this the right way, and it will have more meaning and hold more weight in that way.
Do you have like some tips or practices of how to be a person of integrity and how to stand for integrity no matter the circumstances or the challenges or the situation at that moment?
I think a useful tip is that if you're faced with a decision or a situation you're in and you're not sure what exactly is the right step to take, maybe it's looking like the path of less integrity is the easier path or the more profitable path to take. I think it's always important to just pause and ask yourself how you would feel if this decision, this thing you're doing came to light and was made public knowledge. Like if it's something that you would feel uncomfortable or feel guilty about, if it came to be public knowledge, then it's probably something you should not do. Because in as much as we think, oh, everything we're doing now is a secret or we can get away with it, the truth is that at any point in time, it could always come out. And if it's not something that you can be proud of in the future, then it's not something you should be doing in the present. So I think that's just a simple tip that can help you to determine whether what you're doing truly is something you can be proud of.
That means in every step towards excellence or in anything that I'm doing with excellence, I should always ensure that I'm also doing it in a way that I'll be proud of it, of my actions in the future. Or
Exactly.
Yeah. And sometimes I think to myself, I hear this phrase of working in excellence or working with excellence or something like that. Does that have any meaning to you? What's the difference between just working and working towards excellence or working with excellence?
Well, I think it's kind of the distinguishing thing between the mediocre and the extraordinary. So if you're just working for the sake of it, or you're just studying for the sake of it, you're just doing whatever you're doing just to get by, you're not aiming for higher ground. So you definitely end up in the average, in the mediocre. But I think if you work with the principle of excellence in mind, of giving it your all for the best possible result, then you are definitely walking in a path that should lead to excellence. So that's my understanding of what that means. Although it's not something I'm always, using or thinking about.
Yeah. And sometimes it can be challenging to be on one's A game to say, yeah, I'm doing this to achieve excellence. But from time to time, one checks back. Yeah. One checks back to see, oh, okay, I'm on the wrong path now. I have to go my
on track.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. One more question. Let us just do a little bit of time traveling. Let us go back in time. What would you tell your younger self? What's something that you would tell Nkechi Nkechi that is 5-10 years younger now? What will you tell her? What will you tell her to change? What will you tell her to just forget about? What will you tell her to ignore? What will be the advice to your younger Nkechi?
Well, I think if I were to look back at my secondary school self / early university years self, I'll just tell myself to relax more, to not be so uptight about certain things. I mentioned that I was quite shy and lacking in confidence in my early years. So I think I would just tell myself to just take things easy. Don't be so concerned that, people think this of me or this is how I must look to the rest of the world. I just say, just relax, be yourself, enjoy the people around you, and enjoy what you're doing at that time. I think that's enough of a tip to give myself. I expect that I'll walk through the rest.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate this, and
I wish you for having me to be.
Thank you so much. I wish you great success continuously and more awards, more accolades to you in the future.
Amen. Thank you. It's been a great time talking with you.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Wow, you made it to the very end of this episode. Thank you so much for listening. I'm grateful for your time, your love, and your contributions. Subscribe, like, review, and share this podcast. God bless you. Bye.